All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Peter Del Tondo. I'm design director over at Unfold, and we're jumping back into the daily creative challenges here in Adobe XD. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always this week, I just want to check in with everyone and see how you're doing. Um, this is a rough time. I really encourage you check in with friends, check in with family, ask how they're doing. Um, it's a hard week right now. I feel my heart is heavy. I see so many things out there that just break and crush my spirit. And then I see things that restore my faith in humanity a little bit right now. So I really encourage you all to reach out to those people and check in how they're doing. I know I'm not doing that great in the grand scheme of things. I'm very fortunate to be in a position that I am not dealing with things that other members of our country and all over the world are dealing with. Just make sure as I get a delivery from my daughter, that wasn't supposed to happen, that everybody's doing okay. All right, with that, let's jump into the mix here and get our challenge on. So let's jump over here. If you have not already, make sure that you join the XD Discord. This is where we're going to jump in. We're going to review your challenges and see all the cool things that everybody's been working on. So when you come over to Discord here, make sure that you come and you check out this current challenge channel and make sure to join us every night. I'm going live on my personal Behance page, behance.net/Peter Del Tondo, and I'm going through and reviewing your projects. And tonight I'm going to have some special guests that join me as well. Some friends of mine are going to come on the stream with me and we're going to review your projects together. So you'll have some other amazing folks that I look up to in the design industry jumping in there and giving some feedback and critique. So come hang out with us tonight. Again, follow me on my personal Behance page and join me in chat on my Behance later, and we'll chat more about your project, get you more feedback. And I love doing that. It's a lot of fun. And I'll be doing that Saturday night, Sunday night again. So come hang out. It's going to be a party. All right, with that, let's jump in. That we don't want baby. I mean, we want baby Groot because baby Groot's awesome, but we want XD. So let's jump into the file here. All right, so today we are going to do something really fun. It's going to be simple, but like this is one of those things, spend a little time on. I'm telling you, this is going to be a fantastic portfolio project for you all, and it's going to be awesome. All right, so we're going to design a to-do list for your daily workflow, and we're going to utilize voice triggers so that we can add tasks to verbally add to our to-do list. And it'd be cool to even add things like audio feedback. There's lots of cool stuff that we can do here. So let's start to build this out a little bit. All right, and I'm going to come over to the screen here. And let's start setting up a couple of things. And yes, make sure everybody try to tag me in the Discord too. Join me on those live streams. I promise you I will review your project if you join in. But I try to make sure that we hit everybody. A lot of the other mentors are reviewing projects as well. So hopefully we're going to make sure we get to everyone. All right, so I've got my iPhone screen here, and I'm just going to set up a couple of things. I've got this kind of coffee cup. I'm going to loosely set that up, kind of just centered in my screen. And we'll add some text here and we'll say, let's see, it's afternoon now. So good afternoon, Peter. All right, that works for me. We might even break that up onto 2 lines, but for the moment, that is good. And let's set up some things like I want my daily tasks. That's what we're here for. So let's do daily tasks. We'll bring that down to 14. I'm going to align that. Let's go 24 pixels to the side. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring this down to like 28. And we'll center that up. I like that. All right. So I've got my daily tasks now. And let's build out some stuff. So I've just really quickly got one of my tasks here. Now I want to set up a couple of component states for this. So we've already got one for kind of our default, but I want to do a new state that is completed. and I want to do a new state for deleted. And so with this deleted one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this background color. I'm going to grab this blue that I want in my palette. And I'm doing this to be able to select a color kind of in my range. So I want to bring this into kind of the red, kind of pink zone a little bit. So something like this is going to be my delete color. And I'm going to leave the text dark for the moment. But let's come into completed, and same thing here. I'm going to select that blue once again. And I'm going to pull that into the greens until I find something I like. And I kind of, something right about there feels pretty good to me. All right. So I now have my different states that I want to use, but I'm going to set this back to my default. Ooh, 16 right off the bat. I like it. We're going to bring this down, and we'll do these 8 pixels apart from each other. And let's just add in some additional text. So maybe I want stuff like empty the dishwasher. I may grab, another one, and let's do something like text Steon, one of my teammates, about playing StarCraft again. Because we were doing that for a while. Our whole team would get together after work or on a lunch break. We'd play some StarCraft 2. It's great team bonding. It was a lot of fun. So Steon, let's get that going again. And then I want to add a new task. So I'm going to pull that down here. Nudge that in. And I've kind of got my button here as well. So I'm just going to lay that to the side. And 8. Make sure those are at the right height. Real quick, I'm going to group that. I'm going to center it up. All right. So I've kind of got the basics of my screen here. I might move this up a little bit more. So I've got more room for a couple more tasks. I like that. So now what I want to do is set up the next screen. So that way, what's going to happen when I create that next item. So what I want to do is I'm going to come over here. Oops, let me get out of this. And I'm just going to dupe this screen over. This is going to technically go away. And I'm just going to bring in another field. And here I can say, I need to go get the mail. All right. So that's my next step. Really simple. So when I'm going to speak this, it's going to say get the mail. And then I'm going to come over and let's see. Actually, before we start designing, let's kind of go into prototype mode. So I'm going to switch into prototype mode. I'm going to transition this because this is kind of the action that's going to take place. And I want to go to voice. Now, for command, what you would typically do is one of the robotic voices that we speak to in our lives may start with an S, may start with an A. I'm not going to say them so that way we don't turn everybody's devices on. But we can come up with a name, or for this purpose, I'm just going to keep it simple and I'm going to say, get the mail. And so I'm going to type that in. And when I audibly put that into the system here in my prototype mode or in my transitions, it's going to recognize me saying that, and then it's going to transition from screen to screen. And now what's really cool about this is that I have a lot of capability for what I want to do. So I want to have this set as a transition. I'm going to have it set as dissolve, and I want to ease this in and out. That's going to look really clean. And I'm going to set this up at 0.8 seconds. And that's just going to feel nice and smooth here. Okay, so next, what do I want that to do? I'm going to want this then to move up in location, the others to move down, and kind of go to the top of my list. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to set this up. Probably I should have done it as a component actually, but I'm going to set this up to transition to the same styles here. So I'm going to remove that. Actually, let me move this over. Did I have double text? No. Okay, so I'm going to grab this. I'm going to remove that border. We're going to set our fill to this. And then I'm going to move this up in location. For the moment, I'm going to put it above. I'm going to grab these and I'm going to move that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. So I've now got this. I want to bring this item back in. So I'm going to put that back down here at the bottom. Okay, so in order to go from these screens, I want to have another interaction where from this screen to this screen, it's just going to be a nice little time delay. So up top here, I'm going to switch back to time. And then I don't need to worry too much about this. I want it to be a pretty instant transition. However, I want to set this to auto animate. We're going to ease in and ease out. And I'm going to set this to be a little bit longer at about a second, and that'll create that nice, easy appearance. Then let's get a little bit more complicated. Again, we've got these states that we can utilize. So I'm going to duplicate this once more. And now maybe what I want to do is I want to have, say, get the mail, transition and be a completed screen. So here's what I might do is I'm going to, let's do set the garbage out. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to switch this to completed over here. And I'm just going to slide this off a little bit like halfway. Okay, something kind of like this. So now I'm going to select this in my prototype mode. I'm going to bring this over and we're going to change this tap to a drag. Again, we can go with auto animate. Let's see, easing. I don't think we need to deal with easing here, but we could play around with that a little bit if we want. And then we're going to duplicate this one more time. All right, and then we're going to bring this all the way over. I'm literally going to put this 1 pixel off. So it's just hanging on there. And I'm going to drop that opacity down to 0. And I'm going to move these items up. Okay, so let's review the steps and then let's see how this works. And then one more time, we'll break it down and make sure that we understand how this utilizes. Okay, so we're going to start here. I'm going to add a new task and I'm going to say, get the mail. One little trick that I like to do just as I work on these types of files is I like to give myself what the prompts are that I need to audibly say aloud. I'm kind of just above my artboard. So I remember what needs to be said, how I need to because the words matter, the order of the words matter. You can't kind of just do a phrase and hope you got it kind of right. It needs to be exact. And so I want to make sure that I have that item correct. I can even, actually, let's try to do one in between step here. So I'm going to back these up. And let's see, go back into my prototype mode. So right now I have this time delay. We don't want that yet. I am going to delete that time delay. Delete that time delay. Let's try this a different way. There we go. Okay, we'll put the time delay back over here. And so now when I go to this screen, so we're going to go here. Okay, we've got our voice. I now want to come in and I'm going to go here, voice, and I want audio playback, or excuse me, speech playback. And we'll go with, I don't know, Kimberly? Sure. And she is going to say, great. I'll remind you to get the mail. Then I believe it's going to go from here to here. Okay. Then here, I might get this wrong actually. We're going to do time delay. I'm going to give us 2 seconds, just in case we need a little bit longer for that audio to transcribe. And then we will ease in and out, and we'll move into the next screen. So let's see if I got that right. I'm kind of ad-libbing that extra screen here. After that, it's going to display. It's going to move the item up to the top. We're going to have the ability to add a new task again. And then we're going to look to complete a task really quick. So combining some of the things that we've learned in the past from prototyping, drag animations, and component states. And yes, make sure you guys hang out with Andrew Hockrattle. Andrew's one of my best friends. That dude is awesome. And he might be joining me on the stream tonight. So come hang out with me. I think Mike Jones is going to come in as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. And he is the most entertaining person in the world. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Now you notice here, I've got this bar down at the bottom of my design, and it says hold down the space bar while speaking to use voice commands. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to say, get the mail. Get the mail. Okay, it did do that, but it is not properly setting up the in-between. I'm going to remove this for the moment, and we'll troubleshoot that in a sec. This is going to take us here. We're going to do voice, get the mail. He's in, he's out at 0.8 seconds. And then I'm going to lower this delay time. Whoops. All right, we'll go with that for the moment. All right, so let's try that again. Pull this over here. Get the mail. All right, we see that transition. And now it's playing a little bit funny with that. Let me pull out my other file, and we can see exactly how I want that to behave. Okay, one more time. Go in here, get the mail. Great, so now we've got that nice smooth transition up. We've come back down. And now I'm going to, again, grab that item, and you can see here I can drag this back and forth. And as I drag it over, it recognizes that's completed, and now it completely moves it off the screen. So there's a lot of cool things that we can do with this, and then I've got it looping us back. So one more time, so we can see what that looks like. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to say, get the mail. Okay, let's make sure we're going back to the right screen. Once more, get the mail. All right, nice and smooth. And then we go in, and this is where, as you guys build this out, I mean, you can apply these types of things to an email application, to a to-do list, especially when like email apps started getting features like snoozing email or archive, delete, etc. Being able to do these all through swipe interactions completely changes stuff. So having these kind of features and functionalities, and again, quickly being able to build this out, there's a lot of cool things that we can do here. So just like I'm coming in here and saying, get the mail and swiping this off, we can easily come in now and let's take this one step further. We'll do the same thing that we have. And let's say I took out the garbage after that. So what I'm going to do is I want to swipe this the other direction. Let me make sure I didn't have a, go to this screen. Okay, and then it just ended there, good. So let's go back to design. I want to then take out the garbage and get the next thing off my list. So we'll just start pulling it out over here. And once again, I'm going to grab that blue. I'm going to pull that up so I get into my reds, but it feels like it's in the same tonality. And then we're going to delete that. So I'm going to take this next screen. I'm going to nudge that over all the way. Bring it just off the screen, or just so where it's 1 pixel. I'm going to fade that out all the way. And let's pull this up. Cool. And then we've got another minute here. What's really neat about this is we can start to like explore some cool things. And so maybe kind of like an email inbox zero, I could quickly go and do these other items. And then maybe after I've eliminated all of them, it could be something like, hey, here is like you've reached inbox zero. So congratulations, you've done all the things that you needed to for the day. Sit back, relax, go enjoy a TV show or something like that. You can find ways to inject delight into these projects in really fun and unique, interesting ways. So let's check this out now a little bit, and let's prototype this out a hair further than we had it. And if you guys have any questions along the way, let me know in chat. And we're doing good on time today, so we can run through and answer any questions y'all might have. Okay, so I'm gonna set out the garbage. I'm gonna move this one over here. We're gonna select drag. Auto animate is fine. Easing, again, we could do ease in, ease out if we would like, but I don't think we need to. And then from here, let's see, we did the time delay. So we're just gonna do another time delay there. Let's do, all right, we'll go time. Perfect. All right, ease in, ease out. Okay, so let's check out those right. Auto animate, easing none. Time. Okay, cool. All right, I think we're good. So let's go through one more time and let's check that. All right, get the mail. Great, we see that. We're now going to come in and we are going to go get the mail because we did that item right off the bat. Then I'm going to come set off the garbage. And again, you can just do these quick swipes left, right, and simulate it. And when you guys get to put a file like this in front of a client or in front of a member of your team or a developer and show them how this all can come to life, that's when things really start to click for folks, because when they see this, they might look at this design and go, I don't really understand. How do I interact with things? How do I know what's been done or not done? And that's where it requires this prototyping and animation. And Adobe XD just excels at this at more than any other design program out there. It's fantastic. And stuff like this is simple but very time consuming to do in a program like Adobe After Effects. And as you guys can see here, I mean, it takes seconds, minutes, etc. to be able to prototype like this. And it is so powerful being able to do it here and get these ideas out and quickly. And which plugin is it that you use for 2 states of the task? So Merv, that is not a plugin. That is actually going to be our components. So I can come here to components. I can create this as the default state. And then again, we could create things like a completed and a trash state. And then I would just come in, and while that state is selected, I can come in and, you know, these won't be as precise and pretty as last time, but we can just say, I can go red here. I click back into that. I go to completed, same thing. I'm going to go up and I'm going to select something in the green range. And now I can easily go in and modify this wherever I want as needed. And so it's very nice to be able to do that and have this be part of the design system that is going to stay consistent throughout my design, no matter where I'm at in the process. And as you update it, if I were to change that color, it's going to change that color across the board and stay consistent, which is going to save you hundreds of hours of changing little things that you don't think about off the bat. And then you go, oh, I need to tweak it here a little bit. And it becomes chaos because that little change means how many hours changing potentially hundreds of screens to match that. So really, really advantageous to utilize that. And again, just nice to be able to come in and get this stuff completed very easily. And yes, if you haven't already, go to behance.net/challenge/xd and you can sign up for these challenges. You can rewatch any of the previous episodes or go find them on YouTube and tune in and make sure that you're up to speed and jump into the challenges that really excite you. Watch and learn the mechanics of the others, and apply it to projects of your choosing and things that you're really hyped and passionate about. And Donna, when I explain it, it looks very easy. Thankfully, it is really easy. And I know it might sound overwhelming at first, but really XD is so simple and easy to use. And especially if you are familiar already with Adobe products, this is just really simple and easy to jump into. And it's why I try to keep these challenges really simple. I'm not trying to build the most robust daily task app here, is because by keeping it simple, it allows us to focus in and understand the mechanics of the challenge, and then start applying it. And I think it's not as overwhelming when we think of it that way. So with that, I think we need to start wrapping up. But make sure that when you guys are doing these challenges, try to spend anywhere between 15 to 45 minutes on them. If you need to feel like it's more of a loose wireframe, but again, you understand the mechanics of audio, voice triggers, of speech playback, or of drag controls, that's what I want to make sure you get. You can spend all the time in the world later to make these as pretty and beautiful as possible, but I want to make sure you understand the lessons. So with that, come join me tonight on Behance. We'll catch you all later, and have a wonderful and safe day.